Welcome back to my channel. Let's go racing. I want to start off with a tactical clip and I want to ask you a question. What tactic, if any, do you use to make it through the trees? Because I hate this arena and the main reason is making it through the trees, which always trip me up. You'll see here, I think about going to the right. I think, no, I'm going to ignore those buildings. I'm going to go the slightly longer route. My opponent goes the short route. And at this point, I slip to hood view. This car sounds so much better from this view. Anyway, I slip onto hood view to try and use that to make it a bit more predictable through the trees, especially at night. What do you think? Have you ever used this tactic before? Unfortunately, I win my race and get a Funko. My name is not One Jibber, and I do not like the Funko. I don't manage to get in another good elimination, so I stick with Funko for the final showdown. Let's see how this plays out. It's going to require a lot of throttle control because I play no traction control, no stability, just raw. There's an AMG1 and a Cherokee. Let's get this started. The Funko has been uncontrollable. I know there's a bump coming up, and there's the bump. Unfortunately, off my usual line. Honestly, I get quite lucky with my landing there that the car doesn't flip and roll. I'm down in second, but my opponent appears to hit a house or something else, and I'm back into first. This is a nice bit because you can just Funko power it, get up as much speed as possible, and try to eke out an advantage as we close up towards the finish line 1.5 kilometers away. This bit's always a little sketchy, but as long as you avoid the golf carts, you're pretty much okay. It's looking very likely that the finish is in the city. One opponent just down to my right goes the wrong way, leaves the road, and that's a good game. At that point, I'm guaranteed, even in the Funko, which I hate driving and struggle to keep it in a straight line, at this point it's game over. I very, very, very rarely wait at the finish line like this, but I wanted to see how things played out behind me between the AMG1 and the Funko. So I slow right down. 20 yards is the distance that you need to cross the finish line. Let's see how this plays out for my opponents. It's a photo finish between the AMG1 and the Truckhawk. Good game.
For the final showdown!
This is a fun round. I'm in the AMG1 heading out towards the main festival. Because I'm not right back up against the corner of the arena, just slightly missed time. Perfectly executed block, even with my opponent using the map trick. They can't get past me. A little nudge there, and if you watch the map, you'll see that they crash. I take a bounce off the RS7 to help my exit. There's another Funko, and I barely miss going into the back of the Ford Bronco. And we're heading down here. Down here you have two routes to take. I can see that the finish is up on the road right at the bottom of the mountain. So I'm going the safe route. The AMG1 understeers horribly. My opponents are all going the straight risky route. If you get lucky, it's faster, but you will get unlucky from time to time. Because I had a really good exit, I can afford to go a safe route. Cut onto the road. My opponent, which I believe is another Funko, takes a really nice route to come onto the road as well. At this point, unfortunately, in the AMG1, this is game over. This is a win for me. Tell my opponents that I'll see them at the finish line and that I like racing, just in case they weren't sure. Cross the line, little double back to see who's going to come second, and it's the other Funko. Good game, well played, well played. This is the exact same arena. This time, unfortunately, I couldn't get up into a level 10. The exit time is beautiful there, if I say so myself. Nailed that. Maybe a quarter of a second. And the finish line is far off to the right. If you get this finish line, you want to try and exit without hitting rocks. and head down to the highway as soon as possible. The finish line is far over to the right, head down to the highway. I've included this race because I make some fatal mistakes. I check the map and I see that it's over on the other side of the lake. I should be going down that dirt path just there, but I'm not. I check the map again, realise that I've made an error, but by this point, unfortunately, I've already committed. I make another error here, which is how I exit the highway. Absolutely terrible choice. Flip the Andretti straight over onto its head, and from here on I'm scrabbling to get back on the throttle. Fortunately, again, because of my exit, I'm okay. I should be on that dirt road like my opponent is. But I went the wrong way. Again, because my exit was very, very good, I still have a strong lead. Make the jump here down to the end of the dirt path. That went nicely at least. Cut the corner here. Like a good game. Well played to my opponent, so I got really fortunate to have had a good exit because I made some mistakes there. So try and avoid those mistakes. Try and go the sensible route on the dirt path. This next game features Joanna P. She has an AMG1, another opponent, Stamanster, has another AMG1. There is Hornet heading out ahead. I'm going to get a really nice little block here. My opponent tries to use the map trick. They timed it poorly, which we love to see. I'm heading over to the road here. I like to take this cut. I don't want to be anywhere near those houses on the corner. And my opponent goes a better route than me. So I stay far out to the right here because I can completely avoid the houses. However, I've watched a lot of opponents and the route that they take, and they take much cleaner routes. So you can see here on the map, both AMGs are out ahead. I'm back in third. And the opponent closest to me, I really like their route. That's a route which I need to learn. I don't know it yet properly. I need to learn that. There's a house just over the rise here, but if you head towards the entrance to the road, you'll always miss it. Finish line is looking like it's going to be just slightly up on the mountain, so I don't want to be too far to the right because I'll hit the little mini cliffs down at the bottom. I'm in second place. I've been fortunate to pull out ahead of Hornet. I go straight flying into a tree. At some point you just make a better line in it, and that is a good game to my opponent Stamanster, and well played Joanna. This is on Piano Fire's stream. There is me, Piano Fire, Joanna in the RS200 twinning with me, and Hesitated Jam in the level 7 Mercedes, one of the most dangerous cars in the arena. Piano Fire gets a beautiful exit, well played, doesn't go for any crazy blocks on me, which is nice, respectful racing. Everybody knows that when you come out here there's a building, so I stay to the left and then I steer right, and the RS200 bounces me straight into the building, and it bounces Joanna straight into the building as well. Excellent. It's not going well for the two level 10s. We have Hesitated Jam and Piano Fire out ahead in their level 7 and level 9. I don't know this route as well as I need to. I don't have this route down. I stick to the road, go for a little bit of a shortcut. I know there's some stuff there. I managed to avoid it, managed to avoid these houses. And again, I don't know this. I go for a corner shortcut, see some buildings and hit straight into another one. So that's me out of the race at this point. Joanna's about to come flying past me on the horn. Hello, hello. Make a cheeky jump up over here, which was fun. No winning, but fun. I'm in 4th place out of 4, and that unfortunately is where I'm going to finish. Well played, Hesitated Jam. Beautiful racing. Really well played. In the level 7, but executes his flawless race. Well played, well played. Into the next race. I wanted to include this head-to-head because I wanted to say well played to this opponent. So I'm shadowing them. They're in a Maserati. I'm shadowing them and they try and go for the U-turn trap. Well played. I know what's coming and I'm going for the exact same thing, but a less experienced opponent would have flown past there the wrong way and they probably would have won. As it is, unfortunately, I know this arena too well. That's going to be a head-to-head win for me, but well played to my opponent. That is how you want to be playing. U-turn traps, trying to bait fast cars into following you, seeing how it plays out. It ends up just 2 brockies in the final showdown, and my opponent gets absolutely no exit whatsoever. I'm miles ahead, got a perfect exit. So you have to work on those exit times. I have a quick check and see that the final is down in the city. Let's speed through this bit. The Brocky doesn't really love these corners, and we're going to see that again in a later race play out in a very nice way. Take it nice and calmly. I still managed to almost overdo things and send myself into a gap just there. Well played to my opponent, but work on your exits. And here's the final clip of the video. Absolutely loved this race, had tons of fun in the level 8 GTR. Honestly, a beast of a car for the final. My exit here is pretty decent. I take the try-hard line all the way up the top of the hill. Cut through these trees. My opponents are a Funko and a Rocky, and I narrowly missed an Andretti there. So my exit here is decent, probably about 1.5 seconds, so slightly off. I know that there's a building on the other side of this little hill, so I'm staying quite far to the right, but then I need to cut back to the left because I don't want to get caught up in the hill, so you'll see me karting slightly to the left, so I'm able to take the flat route just here. Heading down onto this little bit of road is a safe route and straight through the houses which are built up. I'm carrying a good amount of speed, up at 160 miles an hour. You can see that I'm keeping up with the Brocky. They are there in my sights, and as we just saw in the race before, the Brocky doesn't like this. There's my opponent out ahead of me. I see them and I smell blood. I take a beautiful corner cut just there. Up and down through the gears a little bit to control the speed, and I've caught right up to my opponent. Again, as we saw in the race before, Brocky doesn't like these corners. I take a really nice tight line. My opponent goes out really wide. I miss my braking point horribly. Managed to just about claw it back, slam into the wall. I'm mashing the throttle to stay ahead. I need to stay on this racing line. My opponent full sends it, but doesn't come through. And that's a really close finish. Well played to my opponent. Thank you for watching. See you again.
Please congratulate